everybody gonna play my funk. See your mama, come on, move that jump. Yup, Southside going pop trunk. Coming down with my swag in the pump. Old school gun feel this track. Yup.
Traveling, and anti-vaxxers and traveling. What I want to talk about. People who said, "Man, I ain't getting that." Blah blah blah. Woo, woo. But I can see it coming to the point where if you want to move around, maybe not so much domestically, but if you want to move around internationally, you're probably going to have to get this shot. And to another piece of that is it still the same? Because you haven't really heard a lot about it. Is it still the same 14-day quarantine that you have to do and all those kind of things? So anybody got any thoughts on travel? And
Yeah. So I've heard some other people who have traveled, some people who gone to like Japan and then to the Caribbean. And the one friend I had who was in Japan, she did have to do the 14 days before she was able to go to be out and about. As far as the going to the islands and stuff, I'm not hearing a whole lot about them having to do a whole lot of quarantining. And we got to remember too that a lot of the different areas that people travel, those areas depend a lot on tourism and the money. So that might, but in saying all that, the areas that the people have been traveling to, they're strict. So very strict about the mask, the distancing, the sanitizing, and all of that. But whether or not they're making them quarantine for a specific amount of time, no. Whether or not they're making them do the testing, I haven't heard that. I don't know, Robin, if you've heard that about having to do the testing
You have
for
to
people
test
traveling.
72 hours before
Okay.
you leave. And it's a specific certified NAAT, which I'm not sure what it stands for, but you can't do the rapid test. You have to do the
they have to have a
PCR.
PCR test.
Yeah, and they
it
want
has
it
to be a PCR
72
test.
hours before you leave. You have to upload it to some site, get a code to fly with. It's serious. Now, I don't think you don't need it to come back. You don't need it to come back to the States. And then my question is, which I don't know, if you've been vaccinated and can prove that if you still have to test. I'm hearing that I think you do.
You still do. Yeah, I every day somebody's going somewhere and they're like, Dr. Love, I need to test. I need to get a test. So
yeah,
they're getting tested, and for various reasons. I have someone going to Jamaica, someone going to different places, and every location that you want to go to, you have to look up their requirements for COVID before you go, or else you might get stuck. Because some of them might ask you to quarantine, and if you test positive over there, you have to stay, and you have to be prepared to pay for that. And so there's a lot of
and that's important. I think that's a great point. You got to be budgeted for that. You get stuck out and you need another week of hotel and you ain't got it.
It's like, man, I got to stay another week in Jamaica. Too bad.
And you didn't balled out, willied out on the last night and just spend everything in the club. It's gonna be tight on you. Anybody want to add anything to that? Anybody have anything to add to that?
I mean, the flights are different. I don't know if you've flown yet recently, but we did, and it's very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. There are anti-maskers that they will drink the whole way to keep their mask off, and so they will. That's the new ploy. They will. They want to start. You just kept ordering drinks. Or he said, "Oh, I'm drinking," and he didn't want to put his mask on. He clearly didn't. And I'm not even gonna say what the thing had on his thing, but he didn't want to put his mask on. So I'm seeing it, and it's very uncomfortable. When somebody coughs, the whole area around.
Now that's a social thing that has definitely changed. Somebody, I was out somewhere the other night, and somebody said "achoo," and everybody was like, "COVID."
Yep.
Everybody looked at it, was like COVID. And so it's like a little joke, but it ain't funny. You know what I'm saying? So.
Now everybody gonna play my funk. See your mama, come on, move that jump. Yup, Southside going pop trunk. Coming down with my swag in the pump. Old school gun feel this track. Yup.